Hello. In this video, I want to show you how to add a simple contact form to your site. We're using the Ourtown Country Market template as the example here, but again, this will work with any template that you have in the framework. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do here is I've got the contact.html page opened up, and let's go ahead and take a look at the finished version here. You can see this is just a very simple contact form. We can put our name in, telephone number, email, some comments, and then submit the form. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead, one more thing before I proceed. I want to get rid of some of this extra placeholder content here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this information in here, and that's where I want my form to go. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and go into my framework, and we should see a main framework folder there, and you're going to see a forms folder. We want to go ahead and click the plus for that, and you should see feedback.html right here. And there are a few other forms that you can go ahead and take a look at in this folder. But I'm going to go ahead and open up feedback.html. I'm going to go into code view, and I need to go ahead and grab the code for this form. Everything from the opening form tag to the closing form tag. And if you don't have the framework, you can just go ahead and copy the code down here. You can see I've got some extra right over there towards the bottom. But that's all the code there is for this form. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and then come into my contact form, and here's the line that I want to insert that form onto. And I know that because in design view I clicked right here, and when I go into code I can see that flashing cursor right there. So I'm just going to hit enter a few times, and actually I'm going to tab that on over there, and that gives me some extra space to paste this form in. And again, because I like everything nice and indented, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight that and indent that over. We'll save this, and let's go ahead and take a look at this in design view. And we'll go into live view here, and you'll see the way the form is set up. Not perfect. There are some things that are off here. I've got some numbered items in here. So we need to go grab some CSS to actually format this to make it look a little bit nicer. For that, I'm going to come again into my framework folder here, and you'll see the CSS folder. And there should be an item here called forms.css, and this just contains some generic form styling. So I'm going to highlight all that code. I'm not going to grab this up here, just everything from forms all the way down. And again, if you don't have the framework, you can just type all this in and get the exact same results. There's not too much code right there, but I have it, so I'm going to go ahead and copy it, and then I'm going to close this out, and now I need to go into the CSS for my contact page. So I could either go back into my site folder and open up styles.css, or I could use the related files tool right here. Either way, you need to be in your CSS, your main CSS file for the contact page. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. I'm going to go all the way down, and you're going to see a forms section here that already has some existing code in it. I'm going to highlight everything in that forms section, and then I'm going to delete it and paste over it. So there's the code from the CSS file. And now when we go ahead and take a look at this in live view, we should see that it looks more like the form that we're working on. And if you're interested in finding out more about HTML forms and setting them up, and CSS, using CSS to style them, there are other videos on my site that talk about forms and go more into that. We now have a basic form set up on our site. Now, last thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and take a look at the opening form tag. And there are two attributes that I want to call your attention to: the name attribute and the action attribute. The name attribute is simple. What do you want to name your form? And I can go ahead and change that to Ourtown contact form. You can make that whatever you want. The action value, which right now is empty, needs to be a script to process the form. Now, you've got a couple different ways you can go here. One is the host that or your web host that you actually are publishing your site with may have a script that they make available to you. In fact, they may require you to use their script to process forms. And basically, when I say process forms, I mean gather the information up and email it to you. So you may want to contact your host and ask them if they have a form to email script. If not, there are lots of scripts that you can go out and get on the internet. If you just simply search for a form to email, lots of them will come up. You can download them and use them. They all have their own unique little setups to them. If you go into the framework, you're going to see a folder here called PHP, and that actually has a mail form script in it. And again, this will not work on all servers. So first thing you're going to want to do is, well, you can try this form, but always contact your web host and find out if they have a script that they want you to use. But I'm going to go ahead and highlight this PHP folder here, and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go back into my site folder, and I'm going to right click on the topmost folder here that says site, and I'm going to go to edit, paste, and yes to all, and you should now have a PHP folder that has this mail script inside of it. I can then highlight these double quotes here, type a quote, and use the browse option to go ahead and go into my PHP folder and select mailform.php. And basically what this is telling the browser is that when the person clicks the submit button, when they click submit here, the action that should take place is that it should run the script that's located here. We'll save this, and now we'll go ahead and go into mailform.php and open that on up. All you need to do to configure this script is fill in these three values right here: your email, your website, and thank you page. This is your email address, so I could come in here and do someone@somewhere.com. That's going to be the email address that the form gets sent to. The website name here is going to be http://www.sitename.com or site.com. And then we have the thank you page. This is the page that's going to open up when you go ahead and click the submit button after the form has been successfully submitted. And you've probably experienced this before, where when you click submit, it opens up a page that says, thank you, the form has been successfully submitted. So I could go ahead and create another full page here for thank you. To do that, I'd want to right click up here and do new file. I'm going to go ahead and name this thank you.html. And then I'm going to go ahead and open that on up. Go to modify templates and apply template to page. And select main. We did this when we created all of our pages. And then in design view, I can come in here and type thank you. And your form has been successfully submitted. And I could delete the rest of the information from here if I wanted to. But you just need to make yourself a thank you page. And then after that, you're going to go ahead and put the name of that thank you page and the path in there. And in this case, it's going to be thank you.html. And again, if it wasn't in the same folder as the contact page, you would need to go ahead and put the full path in here. But again, most of the time, if your contact form is in the same folder as thank you, you won't need to put anything else in here. And I'll go ahead and save that and close it. And you now have a functioning contact form. And again, if when you click submit it doesn't work for some reason, contact your web host and find out if they have a script that they want you to use with their server. And chances are they will have a script that's available for you to use. And that's all that you need to do to set up a contact form on a web page.